So I was on Reddit the other day, which is my go-to place to get medical advice and, well, any sort of advice. It's home to some of the greatest minds on the net, and I saw this. Now, this whole idea of Toriyama creating the classic Super Saiyan transformation because he was lazy, and so he didn't have to ink in the hair, unfortunately, like that first sentence, it was not satire, and seems to be a common statement passed around. However, like many classic myths that float around the fandom, there is a small element of truth to it. So let's quickly dive into that and more in today's video. Of course, real quick, the featured artist is Blue Animation, and like the name implies, he does animation, so go show him some support. Link to his account will be in the description. So firstly, in an interview labeled The Truth About Dragon Ball, there was a question about why did the hair color go to gold, and one of Toriyama's responses were that it lessened the workload for his assistant, whose time would be taken up mostly from just having to fill in all the black areas on a page. You see, an assistant's job would involve a variety of tasks from drawing the background art, applying screen tone, to inking the drawings himself. And so with the added context that mangaka can have anywhere from 3 to 10 assistants helping them out, for example, Masashi Kishimoto, known of course for his hit series Naruto, had 4 assistants. It's quite an understandable decision. So yes, Toriyama wanting to lessen the workload had influence on the form in some way. However, one, it was to lighten that of his assistants, and secondly was more so in regards to determining the hair color than the transformation itself, and is quite justified considering how much work he was taking on by himself, so it's far from being lazy. Also, I'll mention so I don't give the impression that the hair color was solely to do with a time-saving measure either. It was also chosen as manga, of course, is typically in black and white, and so it was a simple and clear way to create contrast in appearance to the character's previous look. He could have used screen tone perhaps to depict a lighter shade, which is a common method used in the Dragon Ball Super manga to display a different shade of hair. However, the traditional method of applying screen tone can be somewhat of a painstaking process and probably not the best idea if you only have one assistant. And now to the second and final reason to why this form wasn't just created on the fly so he could slack off, is simply because the name Super Saiyan was brought up all the way back in chapter 204, which is around the earlier part of the Saiyan arc. Still, keep in mind, taking into context the manner in which Toriyama uses the word, it seems to be more so a term used to describe a hybrid. There's no direct evidence pointing towards that the whole concept of how and who can achieve the form was known by Toriyama at this point, but even so, moving into the Frieza arc with chapter 280, at this point over a year prior to the form's debut in the manga, Toriyama refers to it again, but with a much more detailed explanation, completely disproving such a notion. So in summary, is it true? Not at all. Confused exactly how it came to be, I'm guessing it fit nicely into the bumbling and lazy character type often pinned to Toriyama, so I can see how it was spread around. But anyway, with that, thank you everyone for watching. I know this is a shorter video this week, but that's partly because, well, it's not a big topic, but also because it allows me to have a head start on the next one. I'm planning to do an animation analysis on every Super Dragon Ball Heroes episode. That might be in 2 parts though, so yeah, I guess we'll see. With that, thank you, and I'll see you later.